I'm Daniel Torch, and you're watching NorCal Tonight.
Hey, this is Allstate Chris, another episode of NorCal Tonight. Safe to say I'm beyond privileged, honored even. One of the first pro wrestlers I ever seen in the territory since I've become a fan about 3-4 years ago. Oliver John, old school.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Oliver John, this is gonna be good stuff. Just gonna chat some wrestling, huh?
Yeah.
So how long have you been out of the business?
I think I got out in, February of 2013, I believe. I could be off on that.
Okay.
Yeah, my head's been rattled so much I don't remember numbers so well.
Yeah. One match that sticks out the most to me, and it was close to the end of your career, was Premier. You were affiliated with the Premier,
yeah.
And you worked Jeff Cobb, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, I think they called it Match of the Year, actually.
That was one of my favorite matches. That flowed. It just flowed. What had happened is I was bulked up, and so was Jeff. So we're doing no cardio. We were just going to get as thick as we could.
Oh, okay.
And so we roll in, and John's like, "Yeah, I want you guys to do a 30-minute Broadway."
Oh.
And I'm like, "Yeah, okay."
Yeah.
Shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, as a result of the 30-minute time limit being reached, this match concludes as a draw.
So, Jeff and I were like, but no problem, it's not a big deal. We'll work it out and take it slow. Well, and that's how we did it.
I mentioned that because you have a very old school, when you were performing, you had a very old school way of doing things. And Premier was, they were high on that, right?
Oh yeah,
They were very much so wrestling.
John's vision was he wanted to almost make it like the work shoots. He wanted to evolve that way.
Okay.
That's where he wanted to go with it. It's kind of tough because you don't really have the local workers to do it. Because they all got to be clicked in on that style and train that style. You can't just go walking and doing it.
Yeah, of course.
You know, those guys that were doing it back in '85 with the RZA UWF and Fujiwara, Gomi and all that, those guys trained to shoot.
Yeah.
And then would go out and work.
Yeah.
So you can't, but you can blend it, but it would have taken a dojo of guys training that way all the time.
Yes. Well, it was great cards, though. I've caught a few myself.
Yeah, so
actually, I think I spotted you as a fan in there a few times, huh?
Yeah. I would roll in there and just kind of chill out and not get involved in it. But with that match, we went in and it was 30. We took it slow and took our time. The only thing we had was what we're going to go home with.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's it.
And the rest, we were going to go out there and call it. And that's my favorite way of working.
I was calling it in the ring.
I think it should be an improvisational art form, and because you don't know what the people really want.
Yeah.
You got to be able to have an ear, and
be able to feed off of it.
Feed off of it, and I don't think a lot of the way we can it now. If things don't go right, you don't know how to get it back on track or switch it. Or if you've planned it and they're not buying it.
Yeah.
Well, what can I substitute instead? They just still go off with whatever they had planned, and it falls flat. And it's so much effort and energy and risk and not any reward. It doesn't make any. When it clicks awesome, it's awesome.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't, a lot of times it doesn't, especially on the indies, because these guys don't have the experience to do it.
Yeah.
And so we went in there and that was it. And it just stuck in place, like the whole deal, because I needed to buy time of doing the count.
Oh yeah.
You know, that was totally out of necessity and on the fly, and I'm just listening. Okay, and that's what became. That's going to be the theme of the match.
Oh wow!
So every match should have a theme.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And oftentimes we don't have a theme to our matches, and if we could get back to that, we would be drawing so much more money on.
Start going.
Yeah, no, everything else would just fall into place.
Yeah. So how long were you working prior to retirement? You've been out for about 4 years.
Well,
what is the career span?
I met my trainer, Paul DeMarco. He was the California heavyweight champion, United States heavyweight champion for Shire, Georgia heavyweight champion for Leo Garibaldi.
Oh yeah.
Florida tag team champion for Graham. So I met him when I was 17. I had a Road Warrior shirt on, and I was at a powerlifting meet.
Yeah.
And so I was, at the time, I was 185 pounds. I was squatting like 6 something because I had these short little legs. And so I was squatting and just chilling out for the meet with my mullet. And,
oh, that's good stuff.
not a skull. I had a full head, thick, lush head of hair back then.
Yeah.
But
that's
then,
good stuff.
you know, he comes up. He's like, "Hey, I know those guys." And I said, and I kind of recognized it because I knew him from the AWA as Alexis Smirnoff's partner.
Oh, okay.
Yuri Gordienko.
Yeah.
In the 80s, so late 80s, he came back for a while at the Showboat and all those places.
Yeah.
And
good times, by the way. That was good stuff.
Yeah. So I kept trying to get him to train me, and he's like, look, because he was a born-again Christian at the time. He's like, God, he didn't want to get some young kid in this. He called it the Devil's Den. He didn't want to get me wrapped in it. He didn't want that conscience. I'm like, dude, this is what I want to do. So I would go and, you know, I found out where he lived, and I'd stalk him, and I'd go, hey, what's up, man? And I kept harassing him till finally he'd just give me little tidbits.
Yeah.
1 potato, 2 potato. And well, what's that? Because he saw my buddy Potato Me in the gym, and he's all just goofing it for him. He's all, well, then he taught me, you know, 1 potato, that's a mistake, 2 potato, 3 potato more.
Yeah.
So they potato, and well, then they're taking liberties on you. You best check them.
Yeah. Stand
and
up.
so he teach me that.
Stand
So
up.
then when I finally convinced him to start training, we trained on a racquetball floor. And he would just lead me through until finally Rich Frisk, the referee, was re-reffed in the AWA and on the West Coast, and he got a ring, wanted to start up a school, and he got the ring, and then kind of dropped out of it, and he ended up moving with his wife down to San Diego, and it was just me and Paul there, and I was fronting the bill, some young kid, just to get the wrestling school going.
Yeah.
So, kid, you could do it all here. You'd have the pencil. You wouldn't have to worry about where you get booked and worry about somebody on your career. And it was too much for a young kid, but that's what I went with, and we started Pro-Am Wrestling in Sacramento.
Oh,
and I started training. It was probably like 94 by the time we started the school.
Wow.
So I was like 22.
So you've been doing this for you 20 years?
Oh yeah.
You'd say about 20 years? Wow. So obviously we want to talk a little bit about highlights. Like when you think about highlights in the career, I would assume, safe to assume, you had a few WWE tryouts.
I had some WWE tryouts. How it went, I was with Paul for 4 years. Had a couple matches. We were talked about it, but we just kind of stayed there and didn't take it to the next level. I think, and for me, business-wise, I wasn't ready to go out and start a promotion. I just wasn't ready. I just wanted to go
there's a lot that goes
a wrestler. I just wanted to go to WWF and be the big. It was easy. And so, I ended up having he booked us on an MMA card.
Oh wow! And in a professional wrestling match
as the intermission.
Card. Oh okay.
And the guy booked it, and everybody was shitting on it. Oh, it was a pro wrestling match. Well, we went out there solid. And we started throwing in, because I was training in jiu-jitsu and stuff, so me and this guy, Steve Zareski, he was a football player for Davis. The guy was benching 550. He was all big, just a big guy. And when they hit me with the first Saito suplex out of nowhere off a headlock, when we were doing grappling arm bars, like, oh shit. Guard, they were like, what? And they started coming too, and the karate guys, this is real. They couldn't believe it. And we started hitting our stuff, started hitting our moves, and the people when I finally climbed to the top rope, it was the biggest pop of the night.
Wow.
On the MMA card.
And all these guys, all the MMA.
Yeah, and these were guys that ended up going. Frank Shamrock was there. I forgot there was a Russian dude that ended up going to UFC. Tim Lasik was there. He ended up going to UFC. All these guys went to UFC.
Wow.
But it was when it was still pretty underground.
Yeah.
And it was kind of Pancrase style rules, so it was open palm and all that. But we got the biggest pop of the night doing pro wrestling.
Pro wrestling.
Cool. But I met Bob Shamrock. He was in the front row.
Yeah.
And he came up, and I was kind of done and burnt out on pro wrestling, so I just was kind of, I wanted to do such a realistic style. This was in 98.
98, okay.
And so we shut down probably, we lost our lease because they were selling the building. And I said, hey, and Bob said, hey, Ken's going in WWF. If you want, and he has connections, I can get you in touch. And I said, well, Bob, I want to do MMA.
Yeah.
That was no holds barred back then. And he said, well, I'm starting a team and we're training out here if you want to come. And I started training in that, and I had my first fight and knee-barred the guy, and it was so easy. And
it was so easy?
Busted his knee, and we were behind at Sam's Hop Route. It was underground. They had to book it at 2 different venues in an alley because the cops had shut it down. They had to be able to go to another octagon right away. And
so they had a whole nother venue ready to go?
Neutral grounds. Neutral grounds, man. There were some funny fights, man, that you'd see on that. And they'd take some bum out of the crowd would want to get drunk and fight, and the promoter would fight him and kick the crap out of him. It was awesome.
Oh,
it was
dude.
so much fun.
Yeah, it wasn't no holds barred back then.
Yeah, so
it wasn't like it is today. Today it's very
but it was changing because they were trying to shut it down. They lost the pay-per-view, so I went to a couple of them because they were grooming me to go to UFC. I met the matchmaker. I cornered for a partner of mine. I forgot UFC something or other, so you could see my head bobbing to the, with the towel.
Yeah.
The corner man, and he fought Evan Tanner, and it didn't go well. Poor guy. Evan Tanner.
So how many MMA bouts have you
I'm undefeated.
You're undefeated?
Undefeated in MMA.
You're not 1-0, are you?
1-0.
All right.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
What had happened is I ended up getting poked in the eye, and as it turned out, I had a detached retina, and I thought nothing of it.
Yeah.
I was like, I got it fixed. I didn't worry about it. Kept doing my wrestling training. That was like in '94. Not nothing of it.
Well, back then, right? Concussions were just headaches.
It doesn't matter. So when I was getting ready for an IFC fight to groom me to get up and work up the ladder, it was like, oh, this is a red flag. So I went to my ophthalmologist. Like, you're insane for doing this. I got poked in the eye in training, and I started seeing these flashes of light, and I got another detachment. Oh. As it turned out, because I'm blind as a freaking bat, my eyes are shaped like a loaf of bread instead of like being round. So it pulls the retina, and there's all these thin spots. Yeah. So he's all, you could do it. But I was a boxer. I wouldn't do it if I were you.
I highly suggest
not. And I was so close, and I was just, I knew where I was going to finally get to do this. It was going to be my way to fame, or I would have just gotten my ass kicked and been done with it. But at that time, as a young, wide-eyed kid, it was a way that I could be in pro wrestling to me. Yeah. And have the ability, because I can jack my jaw and not have a booker at the mercy of the booker. If I trained hard enough and could do well, I could make my own. And then I always wanted to go back to Japan. I figured I could do. That was my grand plan as a kid. I thought it was going to work. Oh, it's going to work perfectly. But I had to get another detachment, retina tear, and so they had to get, and I had to quit at that point. It was devastating. I was really bummed out about it. So
I bet.
At that point, I was like, fuck this shit, I'm done with it. And I was moping. But he said, hey, if you want to do pro wrestling, let me do the surgeries on your eye. You have a ton of weak spots. So it took me a while to get the guts to it, because it looked, when they did the first surgery, it looked like I was seeing a letterbox. When it came, they took the patch off, and I was like, I was scared. It ended up healing up, and they ended up working it over, and I went back, and Bob had gone down and made amends with Ken because they had a falling out. Okay. And so I went down to San Diego and was working for the Lions Den, training Ken's pro wrestlers. Wow. And that was my end to get down there. Met Rick Bassman. From that, after that shut down, and then I had another match there, and then we started work. I started working for UPW. Wow. And training for UPW.
You've trained quite a few wrestlers, I would assume.
Oh yeah.
You have quite a few under the tutelage of Mr. Old School. That's cool. Any in particular that anybody might know?
He probably don't remember, but The Miz loved my classes when he went down. He said, this is the best class I've ever been to.
Really?
Yeah, so at that time, he was just the real world guy to me.
Oh, that's cool.
But
Yeah, of course.
Cool.
Well, he's out there trying to learn.
But I train the same way I do now. It's organically, it's improv, it's in there, getting in there and feeling the whole process. Yeah. You got to get in there. That's how I learned. You just locked up, and I learned the old way. An old timer, established vet took you under there, and you were led through it. Yeah. Until finally you're older, uglier, so then you become a heel, and then you start directing it.
Yeah. Were you a babyface whole career?
No, I like being a heel. I almost always worked as a heel. Almost always.
Okay. I seen you as a babyface. That's why
I would go and I'd be a babyface, but I always like being a heel better. Yeah. It's just easier. You talk shit.
You know what? I've heard that before. It's easier.
It's easier.
Right? Yeah.
Because I mean, if they don't like you as
that's it.
As
it's over.
American is apple pie. They just shit on you. It's like, it's tough. You can always, call someone's 4-year-old girl a total whore, and they're gonna freak out.
That is not hard to do, right?
No, not hard.
You go to San Francisco
Not
and you talk about
Yeah.
Oakland.
It's
and
low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, absolutely. But you still had fun though. Even being old school and doing it the shoot style, you still had a good time, right?
Oh, yeah.
Plenty of time. I heard stories. I was dating back to PCW. When you would lose a match, I guess you'd throw a temper tantrum.
Yeah.
You'd be in the ring like, ah!
I just freak out.
Just freak out,
Get
right?
pissed. Just get pissed.
Right? But it's natural. It's just a flow.
It's
right?
a flow. You feel it.
Yeah.
And that's how I did it. I always felt my way through it.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean I was going to do it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even plan it. It's in the moment what I would think, and I'm always looking in the audience and trying to pick out the ones that are the easy marks.
Yeah.
Because it's monkey see, monkey do. If I can get them reacting the 3 round, and then it just starts to germinate from there. It spreads. And they'll do that, and then they'll all start following. And
then they'll see the whole crowd. Monkey see, monkey do. I like that.
And so I would know certain things, and I would work with somebody, and I'm just working back forward with the way, and it gets over.
Yeah.
And then I just would just flow, and it would turn into something. The same as the 10 count.
Yeah.
It fell into place.
So you've done a few seminars, not a lot.
Yep.
But are these still things you implement today? You still teach the same concepts today?
Oh yeah, and
nothing's changed.
It always changes.
Yeah?
I come up with something new every time.
Oh really?
I come up with a better way.
Because it's about the flow, right? It's about what's natural and what feels like it's going to fit in this situation.
A lot of it is because not everybody learns the same way. So if I'm having to teach a headlock or a chin lock or how you hit and run the ropes, and they're just not getting it, and no matter what I say doesn't work, it just doesn't click it.
Yeah.
So I have to figure out a different way to get it in their head.
That's a good teacher. That's a good trainer.
And I'd say, well, shit, this way I've been doing all these years is totally wrong. This is a better way. This is how we're going to do it.
Yeah.
And I would just come up with better ways in my work. If you can ever teach, you become a better worker.
Okay. Wow. Well, yeah, that makes sense though, because calling it in the ring, you need to have the natural ability
to be a general, and it makes you a general. You got to be a general for however many people to come out to the class.
Yeah. What was your pro-am? What was your average student?
Pro-am, we had like, not many, 5. Once it started clicking, I had like, it started finally making money at the end, and it was like, we had like 20, 25, and it was just kept moving up, and it would have kept building, but I was burned out.
Yeah.
And I didn't even like wrestling at that point.
Yeah.
I didn't like how it was. It was very cartoony for me, and I just couldn't handle it. Or it was hardcore. And I was like, this is, because I learned old school, I'm like, they're doing bunkhouse, they're gonna kill it, it's gonna die. Of course, eventually it does.
Yeah.
But it still ran hot for a long time before they kill it. But
yeah. Well, you know what? We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back, talk a little bit more about, Japan.
Perfect.
All the good stuff. NorCal Tonight. Thanks for watching. We'll be right back.
To become a professional wrestler, you need to push your mind, body, and soul to the limits. Sometimes it's where you train that can make that difference. Now it's your time to turn your dreams into reality. Join the PCW Workfarm because it's time.
All right, we're back. NorCal Tonight. Oliver John. Going to chat a little bit about the career in general. You had some Japan moves there, huh?
yeah, so I
Pro wrestling or MMA?
Pro wrestling. I told you I was undefeated in an alley by the Sam's Hop somewhere in Long Beach.
Yeah.
But no, it was. He was in the audience from what I heard, and they got it wrong. I was Scott Tannenbaum. They got the names switched on that fight, so I beat my own ass. It was fantastic. So
good stuff.
But, yeah, Tito Ortiz was in the audience that night. Name throwing into all
nice.
these.
So you've rubbed shoulders with a lot of guys like that.
I have. I've eaten buffet with Korn.
Oh shit! There you
ran
go.
with Tito, yeah. So I was in the buffet line with them, a bunch of these guys, and me and Big John McCarthy and Bruce Buffer, we had breakfast.
Oh, that's cool.
So all these cats. So
little cool stuff. Those got to be moments for you, right?
I've rubbed shoulders with.
How many moments
greats.
have you had in your career where you thought like, damn, I'm really doing this?
Yeah, like I'm sitting backstage. It's me. Nova was next to me over here because he was a former UPW guy, so he helped me because I showed up in fucking Converse and workout shorts. I thought it was a training session.
Oh.
And they just instituted the rule that you got to wear a suit, and I'm like, he's all, you need to go to the Mervyn's. It's in Fresno. It's over there. And he totally helped me out. And I just sneak out and go. So he saved me on that one because I walked in the dressing and I'm sitting. I was with Kane and Flair and Chris Benoit. And Chris Benoit was just like eyeballing me. It was nice. He shook my hand. But obviously, I was dressed like shit. Rick Bassman didn't give me the fucking memo. I never would get the emails.
Where's my email?
Where's my email? Yeah, because we were supposed to do the dark. It was going to be me and Alcatraz were teaming up and doing the West Coast Cartel, getting the hardcore. Because he was Jesus, but Aaron Aguilera? He just got booked with WWE.
Oh wow, okay.
Developmental, so he left and I took his spot. So like I said, getting where you wanted to go with the Japan stuff, I was training in UPW because one of my students, Tommy Wilson, who was with the Lions Den, was working for UPW, and I just had lunch with him on the way back. I was getting back into it, had my surgery, and sat down. I said, "Yeah, I trained. It's not a problem." Well, he was having problems getting people. Frankie wouldn't always make and Adam Pierce for the train on the weekend. So I would come when I would.
Oh wow! So you
do the San Diego show. Yeah. I would on the way back home do Friday was the show. I would train Saturday and then go back to Sacramento. And so I was getting to train their guys, and it was good response. That the training was good because I'd been a trainer for 5 years.
I've seen this movie. I've done this before.
Right.
Yeah,
so so that got my booking. I was up here, and Rick saw, hey, we got someone dropped out. Would you be interested in going to Japan? I said, well, shit.
This guy.
I'll check my busy schedule.
Yeah. Let's see if I can squeeze you in.
Right, if I can squeeze you in. So, my 6th pro match was with Shinya Hashimoto in Japan.
Wow.
So, and I'm watching these matches where he's kicking these dudes in his Oriental Elvis gimmick, and he's clubbing these guys. I'm like, God, this stuff is stiff. So I'm told, go out there and stiff everywhere. So I'm stiffing the shit out of him. And he goes and he's ready, and I just remembered, because it was me and Alcatraz and then him and a Pride fighter, I forget his name right now, but he was coming into the business. Yeah. And we're just doing the hardcore kid gimmick, and just standing in the ring, and it was like the Ready to Rumble movie. Remember Oliver Platt was the king? Yeah. And he's like smoking in the back, and it's like totally out of it. That's how it was. He's just chain smoking, telling me we're gonna have the match. And then I'm walking in, and he comes out in his gimmick, and dude, I got chills when he came in to hear how the people. Because I had been an indie worker. Yeah. And you see this shit on TV. Yeah. But I'm in the ring with a guy who's like.
The man.
It's like being over here with like Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're walking out here.
And here's this chain smoking short dude out of shape, butterball, and and I come in and like, holy shit! I start getting chills because he just looks like the baddest son of a bitch on the planet when he's walking in with the robe and all that. And he comes in and just snaps his shit off. I'm like, oh my god, this is fucking awesome. And so we worked the match.
You're a fan, right?
Yeah. Well, no, you always are.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You're always a fan. Shit. So those moments are like, oh shit.
So then cool. He started whacking me with these kicks and these blows that I thought were stiff as shit. Yeah. I didn't even know I was getting hit. Oh, like if I wasn't looking at him, I wouldn't have known to register or sell it. You know what I mean? I was like, it's total work, man. And I'm hitting the fucking shit out of everybody. Because I'm kind of told to do this. Yeah. You got to make sure you get get out of it, or they'll take advantage of you. And he's all, very good, very good, very good. Lighter. Is it good? He's all, no, it's good. Just lighter. So, I still stiffed the shit out. I was nervous. But it was good. We worked in Cork and Hall, and
Oh, you worked Cork and Hall too? Did you get to sign the wall there?
Scribbled. I've gotten so every now and again worker will send me back my signature.
Yeah?
So
that's cool. A lot of the workers stay in contact with you?
Not really.
No.
Nah. Fuck them.
The close ones, right?
Screw them all. No. It's not like they just life. People are busy. Every now and again.
Of course.
Every now and again.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's awesome, though, huh? Japan.
So Japan, I did, and then I ended up getting a tryout for Hustle. So Pride, they were having at UCLA for the fighters for Pride, and then their pro wrestling was Hustle, which so it was cool. So my big idol was Nobuhiko Takada, Anjo, all those guys from the old UWF, the shoot group. So they were just doing totally opposite, total gimmick, ridiculous matches. But man, I got to be on Takada's Team Monster. You know what I mean? And I was like the leader. They selected me because the reason I got booked is they thought I looked like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Steve Austin. And then I ended up wearing a hood. I was Mantra Soldier 001, and me and Ricky Reyes, he was 002. But it was cool, man.
That's awesome.
You know, so I got to work with these people that I idolized. With,
Yeah.
You know, and so, and both times I was supposed to keep coming back and just didn't for whatever reason. So I was so close yet so far.
I heard you mention earlier that you were at a power lifter meet.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
So have you always been stay in great shape if you want to be a pro wrestler? I mean, I've heard the phrase body guy.
Yeah, well, for me, how I got into wrestling, I was a BMXer, and a couple of the guys were. Okay. My dream was to be a pro BMXer like Greg Hill and Stu Thompson. Those are names from the past. Nobody knows about them, but I loved it. I was the best. It was the shit. And a couple of guys started lifting, so I wanted to be like them. I thought, well, shit, I'm 12 years old. By the time
you started at
20, yeah, I got my little weights and I started training. And so I did all wrong, but I was training. And I was on and off.
Picking up heavy
by the
shit,
time and then around 84, I started hearing earlier. I started hearing about Sergeant Slaughter and Jimmy Snuka. Before Hogan. Those I started hearing about. Some people were watching it.
Yeah.
And then the whole Piper Hogan and all that WrestleMania, and I started just watching it, and at that point I was hooked. I started watching more and more, and then I realized that Paul Orndorff was like my idol. I said, I gotta start lifting. I gotta do this. And everybody in the school's like, dude, you gotta do this stuff. You're like perfect for this shit.
Oh shit, okay.
So that's where it happened, and that's where the seed was planted. I just always knew I was gonna do it.
You levitated towards heels then. I mean, Mr. Wonderful, right?
No,
he wasn't exactly
Orndorff
a great guy.
Orndorff was a babyface when
at that
I
time?
started. Actually, the first one I dug was Morocco. So I guess heels.
Yeah.
First, I just liked Morocco for whatever. Then Orndorff, and I like Piper, and on Hogan. Everybody liked Hogan.
Yeah.
But I just started watching it more and more, and I just knew I wasn't going to be tall. My parents weren't tall, so I better get jacked,
right? Yeah.
So that was it. That was it. That's what I knew I was going to do all through school. So.
And you just stayed physically fit all the way through your career. Because I mean, you are in great shape, right?
Moderate now, but
moderate.
I'm back. I just started training again. I took a little hiatus.
Yeah.
But I finally got back into it.
Well, you were mentioning, and I said, because you mentioned earlier, you were squatting what, 600 pounds, right?
Yeah. Like I would warm up, and this is shit. I was 85, 90 pounds, 405. That's how I warmed up. I do it for 20.
So you're just squatting four of you.
My legs are short. My legs are short. It doesn't have far to go. So, and it was a groove. It was more leverage than true strength. But.
Well, and then of course, being with pro wrestling, you want to have the body, but also you want to be limber, right? So
that's the part I didn't do, and that was a mistake because I think a lot of my back problems and stuff.
Oh, really? You're suffering back problems today? Oh man, have you ever had any serious injuries?
I broke my hand. I was taking pile drivers, letting them pile drive me while I was on some painkillers for another injury. So I popped this collarbone out because I didn't realize I was dropping on there on my own head.
Yeah.
Just kept doing it.
Didn't expect getting dropped on my head would hurt.
But most of them are my back injuries, and that was really originally for powerlifting injury.
Oh, okay.
So it would get exacerbated over the years.
So I got to ask, when this collarbone popped out, did you go ahead and finish your match that you were?
We didn't have a match. I was training. I was
training.
Pile driver.
You were okay. That's.
I was letting a bunch of rookies pile drive me like an idiot.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah, note to self, not smart.
Yeah, not the best idea in the world, but hey, yeah. Did you ever have any injuries? The broken hand, did that happen training?
Broken hand training, and I was just trying to put over that. I hurt my knee, so I punched the mat, so I got a boxer's break, just trying to convince the boys.
Yeah.
Once again, so it's never anything bad like that,
Yeah. As far as matches, just individual matches. I know you mentioned Jeff Cobb earlier. Right. Really enjoyed that. Right. Are there any other matches that you can think of that kind of just stick out and you go, the best of Oliver John can be found in this 15 minutes or this?
Cobb, myself, and Thatcher.
Yeah.
We had that headlock match.
Oliver John now with a huge with a headlock onto Timothy Thatcher. Thatcher fighting out of it.
Healed from any injuries he may have had. That is.
There you go.
Oh, going for another big headlock. Just muscles Timothy Thatcher right over.
Oliver John has that headlock firmly on Timothy Thatcher.
Look at how red Timothy Thatcher's face got so quick. That's how tight that headlock is. Look at the upper body strength and leg strength of Timothy Thatcher just powering up out of that headlock, but Oliver John takes him right back down to the mat. He's nowhere to go. No matter what he does, he's contorting his body in every way imaginable, and Oliver John is just too strong.
At some point, does the referee call the match? Oliver John, the winner by unbreakable hold?
The headlock used to be a submission hold. Because this is the same headlock.
This headlock's been on for 4 minutes, 5 minutes. Thatcher trying to muscle down. Oh, Oliver John over the grip hold. Shane, the grip holds.
Thatcher had the
Oliver
pin,
John,
though. And once again, back on top. Only a 2 count, though.
Is it going to take a jackhammer?
Now he's firing in these big shots. Those are finally rocking Oliver John. He's able to hold on, and once again, that headlock takedown.
Thatcher trying again to throw Oliver John off, taking Thatcher down one more time. 2 count, kick out. I've seen this.
Thatcher is he's got to think of something else.
Oh, the grip doesn't, it's broken. The grip is broken.
Oh, what's he going for? Oh, he's got the crucifix tied up. Here goes 1, 2, 3.
What?
We
talked about that before.
And that was
rolling here.
And that was just starting to click, and we would have kept doing more. We did the Wrestling Cares charity, and got to Les Thatcher was booking that.
Yeah.
So Tim and I were just wanting to do a different thing where we're just going to old school it, man. The whole point of our match is to go for as many pin attempts and don't let anybody out of our corner. And we just blow them up.
Oh, yeah?
Whoever's taking the heat, and we weren't doing anything except holding the hold, stomp, tag, stop, and quick tags, the old school psychology.
Yeah, tag team
Oh,
wrestling,
God,
right?
man. I mean, Kozlov and Joey Wright, they had to work with those poor guys. Because they had to kick out so many times. I mean, it was blowing us up doing it, but dude.
Yeah.
But it was such an epiphany. We could have worked everywhere doing that. And it would have
went over.
Oh, hell yeah.
I mean, I agree.
That makes sense.
Yeah. It's pro wrestling, man. It's pro wrestling.
What's missing out of wrestling is competition. It should be.
Wow, that's a good point. Yeah,
needs to be,
absolutely.
It's a work, man.
Yeah.
The struggle and competition, that's what it needs to be.
The suspension of disbelief in the art of competition. Right. And that doesn't happen very often, I would say.
The struggle. It's all about the struggle. That's the whole thing, and the fight is missing from it.
Yeah. So, and do you follow the indies today?
Not really.
You still watching?
Every now and again. I watch YouTube. I watch a lot of old stuff. Sometimes I'll watch some of the indie stuff.
Yeah.
It's too canned for me.
Oh, really? Even the indie stuff. So obviously not a big fan of WWE. Do you watch that product at all?
It's I'm not a fan per se. I just watch a lot of stuff, and it just needs to be. The thing is more natural, more organic.
Yeah.
You gotta get that feel.
Things seem very
me,
dialed in nowadays, phoned in, I should say.
It's just it's a structure, and it's an outline, and you can see, and maybe I could see it more just being a worker, but I still think the audience unconsciously will know and will feel. Okay, this is the format. Each one is plugging in their specific move sets and maneuvers, and it becomes predictable.
Very predictable. As a fan of many years, I've been watching since I was a young child, and obviously being a part of the indies now, my wife tells me all the time, you predict more than you watch. Yeah. And that's just the way it is for us.
There's a certain amount of prediction too, when you watch so much of it. But it really, if they got to being able to go in there and just go in there.
Yeah.
No plan.
Yeah.
No plan.
It seems like WWE has a huge structure. Yeah.
Let the audience and feed off of what they want in that moment at that time. Because you can plan. I was telling the students that you could make a filet mignon just the most incredible Kobe beef, awesome,
Yeah.
And the people want meatloaf. You best be able to stick that in a grinder and put some Heinz 57 on it on the fly. And a lot of workers can't do that now because if they don't plan it out, or if it is planned and it's going perfectly, but the people aren't buying it, they won't be able to change it and adapt to make something work in that moment.
To make that switch,
right?
Because the switch has to go off,
it has to
right?
Go.
Yeah,
at that moment.
Absolutely, man. We're gonna take one more quick break. We'll come back, chat a little bit about training, just stuff you let the younger guys know even nowadays. And thanks you guys for watching. We'll be right back.
How you doing? This is Maynard Skinner, owner of East Bay Pro Wrestling. You want to live your dream and become a pro wrestler? Come on down and talk to us. Here at East Bay Pro Wrestling Academy, myself and Anton Voorhees are the two trainers here at East Bay Pro Wrestling. Together, we have over 20 years of wrestling experience.
Here at East Bay Pro Wrestling, we want you to live your dream. We want you to realize that fantasy that you had watching your heroes on TV. Maybe you like bad guys. Maybe you want to get booed. We can make that happen too. We can teach you all about how to make a crowd love or hate you. We run workouts. We run weight training. We run conditioning. We have a great working relationship with not only other wrestlers, but other promotions and other training companies. We have Alexis Derevko coming down here. We have Samara, our former East Bay Pro Wrestling Ladies Champion, coming down here to just lend a hand, get some ring time in. It takes a village, and we're here to provide everything that we can so that you can live out your dream. We are here in Pacheco, California. We can be found on Facebook. We can be found on Instagram. All of that is East Bay Pro Wrestling. Come on down. I'd love to meet you.
Back with Oliver John. So as far as training, I just want to touch on it a little bit. Is there anything specific that you would like to just say? I know we've talked a lot about the natural flow of a match, but anything specific you'd like to just share with anybody, a young worker that's, sees that you're on the show and they're like, oh, I got to see this,
The key is just to stretch things out and not be in a hurry. Everybody's too fast. Really, the easiest thing is to lead with your facial expressions.
Oh, okay.
Everything right off the bat. Your facial expression. Before you throw a shot, before you take a shot, when you're gonna run off, everything. That's got to lead, because if you do that first, if you notice, watch my body just already started. Yeah, it started going with the flow. Versus I'm gonna throw a flipper. But if I do this, and when you make your face, fill up your lungs. And then you're here, they should grab your hand, you should always be hands on, and then you come in and you come into it, and I still got a chest full of air. Yeah. Because I can't stiff them. Oh, and then we come in, he's pulling me in, and we hug each other. Yeah. Hey, what's up, bro? Much love, dog. Just like that. And then, but see, when he sees me do this, he'll do this. Oh, shit. Now he's already grabbed underneath my armpit, and then he's pulling the shot in. And that way you never whip it, you never get potatoed. Yeah. You can work totally light, because I would be stiff because I wanted to make it so realistic. But there's no need to have that sort of stiffness. Yeah. They don't feel it. Exactly. You do. Yeah, that's not doing anybody any favors at all. And you blow yourself up, you get potatoed, and there's no reason, and it goes too fast. And the impact doesn't matter. Yeah. That impact doesn't matter. It's the before the impact and what happens after the impact that's so important. Yeah. So a shot that normally guys are doing, and it's just, we got to get in there before we hit our spot. They're missing out on all that glue. The glue is what holds the match together and gets it really over, because that's the overall feel. Versus they sit on their hand. Something happens on it. This is awesome. Dead. The glue is the struggle and the fight and the punching and the kicking and the brawling and that struggle that's primal, innate in our DNA as humans to survive. Yeah. That's what the people react off of, and that's what we're missing out on. It's like Roy Shire said that there's your gimmick, and you can lay down the rap. It's the most important thing. The rap, the fighting and wrestling. And it's important. It's got to be tight and good, but it's the least important. You got to have these primal things. Wow. The shit talking, the rap. The rap. What's the definition of the rap? The rap. What do you want me to cut a promo or something? No, I just so cutting a promo. Just lay down and be able to spit it out naturally, and to be able to tell him that. We gotta believe you, right? Come Saturday night, come hell or high water, you got a snowball's chance in hell of getting out of the ring uninjured when you step in the ring with old school Oliver John. You best bring your best game, because it's the only damn prayer that you've got. You understand what I'm talking about here? The rap. I understand what you're talking about. You understand what I'm talking about? Yeah, absolutely. I do. Allstate, Chris. Is it Allstate? Allstate. I didn't even get your gimmick right. See, that would be fighting words, and that's exactly. Excuse me. See, this is the damn good hand. We just had a damn epiphany, and then we can work that around the horn and draw all kinds of money. It's that simple, man. You got to be able to come, fly off the handle and be able just to talk.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's an art, right?
It's an art.
It is an art, and it's an old school art. I was once told, I've had a few interviews with a couple vets of 20 years plus, and they said it's an art, and if it's not passed down, we're going to lose it. So they try real hard to instill a lot of that in these younger guys, and we can see it, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, speaking of the younger guys, anybody in particular, I know you don't follow the product 100%, but anybody in particular that kind of stands out to you and says, oh, you know what?
You know, I can't. That's how little I watch it now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff Cobb, you had a match with Jeff Cobb. You had a lot of history with Jeff Cobb.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on his? I mean, he's taken off, right?
He's moderate at best.
Ah, there you go. That's what I'm talking about.
Not true.
The truth?
No, that dude's flat out.
Did you play a part in his training?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about.
But
That's
it's
very
like,
cool.
you know, and it's, I've been so lucky that, you know, a lot of people that I didn't totally train them. You know, they came from me, and I would get them, and I'd get to spend some time with them, and we would brainstorm together. So it was never just me teaching them.
Yeah.
We would get to, and my training style, how I learned, we would get in and be equals. Even though they were my students, I figured that they were my colleagues. And we would share, and my peer, and look, let's come up with something better. Just feeling this out. We're gonna get together, and outside of class, let's just put let's do a 45-minute Broadway, and then we'll go get something to eat. And nothing else. There's no other training. We go in there and then just come up with stuff on the fly, you know, and just get better together. And just, I would see things like when I got Jeff from Hawaii, there were just ways that he was throwing his forms and doing this. I said, dude, you gotta get this is where, and then I would come up with a better way that I didn't even know how to do it to try to improve his work. And then he would go, oh, what do we do this? And then he starts coming up with all these moves, you know?
Yeah, you get better together.
And that's all on him. He was coming up with that stuff. I got to be the rag doll on that.
Okay.
Wonderful. But no,
I took the first one. No.
He's awesome. Thatcher, you know, Thatcher's whole philosophy is I want to be as the best at being as boring as I can.
Yeah, I've actually spoke with a couple of
That's how he says it.
You'll get a crowd completely quiet. There will be no noise in the crowd whatsoever, but when Thatcher's match is over, they all stand up.
Right. And the
best wrestling match they've ever seen, right?
They don't, it's in the beginning he doesn't have them.
Yeah.
But as it moves on, he knows how to use this.
Yes.
And that's what leads. And so he has these, and it's slow, and he snaps, and it's slow.
Yeah.
And you know, Jeff Cobb could do all these moves, but it's slow. If you notice, he takes his time. Yeah. So I've had a hand with all the, you know, these.
It's almost like delayed gratification.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
But the people can register it, because if it's too fast and too many people do stuff too fast, it's come and gone so fast that they didn't get to get everything out of it. You want to milk everything as you can.
Yeah. You want to sell the dream from the beginning all the way to the end.
Oh, before you even get out of the curtain.
Yeah. You need an emotional connection from us as the fans.
When you go behind the curtain and you're done, see if you could convince the workers in the back. You don't break character right off the bat, because I've seen it happen, because I've watched, you know, the guy goes, he breaks character, the character's wide, you know, the curtain's wide open, everything, what a load of horse shit. Yeah. And they laugh at it. You don't want that. You want your match to be the most believable match on the card. You want them to say, and this is a game of blackjack. You don't have to get blackjack. You just have to beat the dealer. Boom. Yes. So the rest of this card doesn't matter. I don't give a shit what they do. Yeah. You're gonna believe my match more than anybody else. Yeah. And that's all you got to do. Man, oh my goodness. So, road trips. Yeah. I always ask the question with all my guests. You've been on the road, obviously. You've taken some long flights too. Yeah. Any road trip stories you'd like to share with us that kind of stick out and make you go, yeah, I'm a pro wrestler. So this is what we do. MPG's gonna hate me for this one. Oh, that's what I love. I love when it starts that way. MPG was. So we were coming back from Portugal. Yeah. And so Portugal, by the way. And so Cafu, you do remember Cafu? Yes. Yeah. So Cafu and Zach are sitting together, and Zach kicks off his shoes, and freaking Cafu told me, he said, the second the shoes were kicked off, the entire fuselage was filled with this stank. MPT, you have to put those fucking shoes back on. So, oh shit. So Zach was having problem. He went through a stint where he's having anxiety attacks. He was going to have this time for it, and it happened on this trip. So, and for when we were in the air, and he just started having a panic attack, and he's all, "We're gonna be okay, right? We're gonna be okay." And so he was he comes over and comes to me and old school. Everything's gonna be okay, right? And I thought he was gonna fuck with me at first. Yeah, we're all right, Zach. Everything's fine. We're at 30,000 feet. Old school. You sure of this?
You sure of this? Yeah.
He's all, I don't think it's gonna be so good. I said, what happened? He goes, I went in the bathroom. My face was melting, bloody. And I said, what? I said, you need to go back to Kafu. He has all the answers for you. So I sent him back to Kafu. And Kafu, he's got a Kafu. I'll tell you, for the fucking mask, like rich people to sleep. With his freaking half a donut around his neck.
Oh, that's classic.
So he's trying to sleep. He takes off his... Kafu, are we gonna be all right? I'm really nervous about this thing. We're not going to be all fucking right. MPT, this fucking plane is going down. And Zach did this. Oh. But somehow it passed and we got home and said, Zach was killing me. He was doing the funniest ass shit on that whole trip. He would go, and we were in Germany, and he'd walk up, he'd just walk up. I don't know if the camera get me. He had this goatee thing. He'd be all, look around, and stick his hand and just scratch. And then he'd scratch. And dude, we couldn't get enough of it. We made him do that everywhere, the whole trip, at every airport. God, Zach was killed the entire time. I realized at that point, Zach, you need to get into stand-up comedy and get out of this wrestling shit, man. Because dude, he didn't stop. He was funny the entire time. God, he was hilarious.
Man, so you and Zach go way back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah? And you mentioned Germany, so how many countries?
So as I was coming back into it, it's one of my former students, Schizo.
Yes,
Mark
I've heard a lot.
So as I was getting back in, he said, you just need to come up and start training. I wanted more ring time.
Yeah.
Because I was talking to Iron, and I was talking about some people about getting some more time, more than just UPW. So, because I was getting a little bit older, I'm just going to go full bore and see what happens with this.
It's time, right?
So then I just started working with Zach and just spitting this knowledge that I had, and we started doing the whole organic. They just coming in, Brian Cage, AJ Kirsch, Scotty Aboot, and just working in the ring and just getting ring time.
Yeah.
Getting away from drills and just locking up. Yeah. I'm just going to talk you through this. And then when mistakes are made, okay, let's fix this.
Yeah.
And I fixed it where they needed at the moment rather than doing the same hip toss, body slams. That's mechanics. Anybody could be a mechanic. You only need 5 holds and 5 moves and you could have a hell of a match if you know the glue and could keep it all together.
Yeah. So I do want to ask, so how many countries have you worked, sir? I've heard you mention Germany, Portugal,
Japan? No Germany for me. That's all Tim Thatcher and Jeff Cobb, superstars. I've been to Germany just because I had family from there.
Oh, okay.
But for me, not a ton of countries. I've been to more states. Japan, Mexico, Puerto Rico, Spain, and Portugal.
How's them crowd? Are the crowds dramatically different from country to country?
Japan was a trip because it's so quiet.
Yeah.
Oliver! One hot one in the corner. Of course, I didn't get her because I had no game. But it didn't matter. She was hot. And that's all I needed. I felt good about me. And that's all you can hear,
Yeah.
So it'd be just quiet, and you get certain things get them to come up a little bit.
Yeah. So states, though, you said you worked a lot of states. So you worked all over the East Coast? I know you did Florida, right? Did you do?
No, I never did Florida.
No? Okay.
There was talk about, when I had that last WWE tryout, and everything was clicking. I'd won Cauliflower Alley Club, and it started really clicking. I was talking at a seminar because someone didn't show up, so I ended up cutting a promo.
You found yourself in that position a lot.
Talking about getting a body and building up the indies to where the territories and a feeder system. Well, Pat Patterson was the next speaker, and then Nick Bockwell, he saw it, and it was, do you have a card? I need your card. We need
yeah.
And that's what started getting me. I had done them before UPW, and nobody really talked to you.
Yeah.
And then I was starting to get some momentum going. Everything was clear. All my years of experience was starting to click.
Yeah.
And I was really coming into my own now.
Yeah.
And so, when Patterson and Laurinaitis called me and we talked, and then just kind of it's easy to fall. That you've got to you just keep knocking. If you think you're being annoying, be more annoying. You got it. Just
really?
You can't. Yeah.
Just never stop.
Don't
right?
stop. Yeah. That was my mistake on it. And so the next year I go to Cauliflower and everybody says, "Oh, Mr. Patrick, how are you?" And they're kissing his ass, and I go, "I'm going to do the same things." I know you. What the hell are you doing here?
Yeah.
You're supposed to be a superstar right now.
Oh man!
And he said, "I said, well, yeah, didn't you call him? I gave you." And he said, "Yeah." And then they kept calling. He didn't call back. He's all, "You're not there because of you." My fault.
Wow. Yeah.
So then it kept going, and then I worked with Go Shiozaki for Cauliflower.
Yeah.
And got knocked out, and that one, but we got a 5-minute standing ovation after the match.
Wow, really?
And that, all the old timers, everybody else tried to do this shit. And they're like, your audience is a bunch of old timers. Grab a headlock and work some holds. That's it. I heard Aqua's all, these guys are actually wrestling. And so we worked, and I wonder if it was a receipt because I was doing my stiff shots. I think Go might have gotten me back on that one, but I didn't get hit really that hard. But it was right on the button.
Oh, boom!
And I think you did tell me I needed to turn. I think I turned the wrong way, really. And I got knocked out. I didn't think I was knocked out, but I was down on the floor, and Tom comes down. And, right, Tom Castor, greatest referee.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And I thought I told him, hey, I kind of got dinged. Do I look okay? I remember the finish. Should I kick out? Because I remember the finish. I guess what I really did. So he just counted me out. But I was cognizant, and everyone was scared. And so all these old timers coming, Harley, Nick, and Patterson. And then I come in and I worked and I shoved them all away. Shoved and stormed out, pissed.
Yeah.
And they couldn't believe it. And it was a 5-minute standing ovation. And that got everything going again. And Harley took a liking to me. So we were in touch, and he had me come out to his camp and for free and all that stuff.
Oh,
and
wow.
They were pushing for me to get there, and that led to me getting my final, Sheamus's match, and I worked with them. I got to work with Bryan Danielson for the agents.
Oh man.
For Laurinaitis and everybody.
Had you worked Bryan Danielson previously?
Once, and we had a good match, and they asked, "Have you guys ever worked before?" I said no. And so we didn't, and the only script was on Bryan because we were calling the spot, and it was one of us going to do. I was to do the I think he was supposed to drop kick, and it got back screwed. He's all, "Sorry about that. It's no big deal," because I covered it, and we got back on, and it was just easy.
Did Bryan work the same way you did, as far as natural flow?
Bryan could totally work any style. The guy's awesome.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
A super nice guy.
Yeah, I've actually heard a lot of things that he's a really nice guy.
Regular dude, man. Just a regular dude. Cool guy.
Oh man, you know what? We're gonna take one more break. We'll come back and we're gonna talk a little bit more with Old School Oliver John.
It's Justin Roberts. When I need flyers made, I go to West Coast Design, and I highly suggest you do the same because the work is untouchable. West Coast Design for your flyer needs.
We're back with NorCal Tonight. Oliver John. It's been a pleasure, man. I appreciate this very much.
I appreciate it.
It's very awesome. Cool stuff. I mean, just for all the young guys watching, it's an opportunity for them to hear a little bit of something. They say, I wanted to ask you, because everybody mentions it. When you first got in the business, were you told to keep your mouth closed, your ears open, and soak it up like a sponge?
I heard that from Roland, but that was his catchphrase, but it was true. It was true.
That's what I wanted to ask. Is that a true statement? Something that a lot of the younger guys should think about? Yeah,
you just learn you can learn from everybody. I don't think you necessarily have to keep your mouth shut. You can be respectful.
Yeah, of course.
And I think if you can get a dialogue going and learn from other and brainstorm. Yeah. That's where my training is kind of different because I don't need to be the and you listen to me.
Yeah.
I will snap if you disrespect me.
Yeah.
But hey, it's okay you could speak up and let me know what you're thinking and what you're feeling, and let's go and see what we can work. Because everybody's an individual, and you got to be able to,
like you mentioned earlier, right? Everybody learns differently.
Yep. You have to be able to tune in on that and figure out how they respond. Yeah. And once you do that, my goal is to make you a better worker than you were 2 hours ago. And that's it. If I can do that, and we do that on a consistent basis, we're going to get a bunch of epiphanies.
And during your career, that makes you have a better match because they are a better worker, and therefore you have a better. Yeah, glue is a little harder.
I've been lucky, man. It's like Brian Cage is doing so freaking awesome.
Yeah, man, that's pretty cool.
Cobb, Thatcher, Christina Von Eerie.
These are all guys you were working as you were coming up the.
That I've had the opportunity to be able to take and work with one-on-one.
Yeah, I see.
One-on-one. To see Zach, and Zach got to do Dragon's Gate and all. They'd go to Mexico and do some things, and just
take a little bit of pride in that, right?
And do bigger stuff than I did. It's awesome.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
awesome. So it's the best.
That's what pro wrestling gives back to you, right?
That's what it's about. And especially as me, I think I was a better trainer than I was a worker.
Nah, I don't know about that, man.
You're being too nice. Don't make me call you All-Star Chris again.
Yeah, I'll stay. I will say this though, that
I'll turn on you in a second.
My first pro wrestling independent show was in Woodland, and you came out with your robe on, and I immediately looked at my brother and I said, "That's a real pro wrestler right there." Like I don't think he's gonna go out here and spit green mist right now. I think we're about to see some headlocks, some takedowns, and some overall it's the I don't want to call it an illusion, but the illusion of aggression.
That's what, and my big epiphany at the end, and I wish I'd have figured out 20 years before, all I had to do was make them believe I could kick someone's ass.
There you go.
And if more and more workers would do that, and a lot of it's getting in the gym and getting the look together, there are too many people that look like high school students, and you're not going to draw any money with that. And the promoters have to quit being people's friends, and quit having a hobby mindset, and start having a businessman mindset. And the workers need to have it, and they need to become more valuable. And this is going to start leading to that promo that Pat Patterson's going to give me a standing ovation and have me give his card. And that's how it goes. We all want this big dream of going to Japan, doing this, that, and then going to these other places. And it's like, there are people in your own town that could buy tickets. I'd rather be myself a star in my hometown.
Yeah.
And maybe get half off at the Black Angus because I'm a star in the local town. You could be home every night.
Yeah.
And at least this could be a great second income for people.
Yes.
And they're missing the mark. And if you wanted to go to WWE, Impact, Japan, all these things, if you could prove with data, when I got to this area, they were making X amount. When I left, they were making this amount. And it was a result of what I could do in the ring.
Yeah.
Would you not think that they'd be more interested in...
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. Hiring you, because now you've proven that they might be able to do that with you on a bigger scale with their marketing?
Yeah.
And so the mindset, they need to think like business people. They need to self-market and...
see it as more as a brand?
Brand themselves.
Brand yourself.
Absolutely.
Right?
You were going to say, well, what are you doing these days? It's the same with real estate. I'm a real estate agent now. It's always about branding. I'm with Remax Blue Line, but you still brand yourself. So OllieSellsHomes.com, and I want to hear people say Ollie, 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 Ollie. When they think of real estate, it's the same thing. So the wrestlers need to do the same thing, and just brand it. And a lot of them are doing it. They're making good money on their merch and stuff. So. Yeah, I missed the mark on that. I'm an idiot.
Oh no! Really?
Hindsight being 2020.
You got an old school shirt here, right?
Yeah, it's the only damn one. I wasn't selling them.
Okay, you got one for yourself.
And the mistake is you can't let the promoters and the other people market you.
Okay, yeah, I see.
You can do it now, especially with the technology. It's so much cheaper. You could do all this stuff yourself. The pro wrestling tees and people that wasn't around when I was there.
Yeah.
It's just so many ways that you could do it yourself. So.
Well, I mean, and
YouTube and everything.
Going back to branding though too, it's a matter of how do I word this correctly? It's you're gonna sell your shirt and you're gonna sell it at their show. So I mean, it's a market thing, man. I think really, like you said, it's a market thing. It doesn't matter the umbrella of which they don't call him the Miz from WWE. They just call him the Miz.
The Miz, right?
And like WWE sells his shirts, but they buy him because he's the Miz.
He's the Miz, exactly.
Like Broken Hardy. That's a good example.
Yeah. Oh, how they did that? How they did it was
reinvented,
phenomenal. And there's this technology out there that, on a smaller scale, obviously they had a but they still reinvented themselves and got them back because of that.
Yes.
And we could do this on this local level and generate a buzz for ourselves that will help the promoter make more money. If the promoter knows that if you're not
because of you,
if Allstate's not on the card, the house is going to be down. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to get paid more.
Yep. And WWE is going to recognize that.
That's how John Cena was.
Exactly.
They knew that Rick, if Cena wasn't at one of their Galaxy shows, the house was down. And they knew that. So when they saw him, they're all, this guy has it. They knew it when they saw it. They knew it.
That right there, my friends, is a beautiful thing. Anything you want to plug?
No, I already plugged my real estate.
Buy a house.
Buy a house with me. That's exactly right.
Buy a house. That's what I'm talking about.
Or 7.
He will. If you buy 2 houses, he'll give you 2 chops for free.
But I'm going to plug something for one originally I know him as Little Scooter Boot.
Oh,
but,
okay.
Scoot Robertson.
Scooter Boot, yeah, I do remember that.
But he really wanted me to let this be known that when I came in, I met him as a 10-year-old kid working at the work farm.
What's he gonna do here? He got some of that Dead Valley Driver, possibly. This is his move. Definitely driver in the middle of the ring. But Scoots in the ring. Scooter. Oh, what is this? Oh no. Oh no, kid. Kid, you're not gonna make it to puberty. That was a stupid move, kid. Oh no. Will he bet the kid? Will he do it? Will he do it? What a dirtbag. What a dirtbag. Oh. Huge scare shot to the back.
And I let a 10-year-old kid powerbomb me. I had a match organic with him. I was locked up with this kid.
Wait,
and
so
worked.
He powerbombed you?
Yes.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
And here's the thing, you got to be able to work with the broom. That's the old thing. Well, what's, a 10-year-old kid crapping his pants, and I was a big dude back then. I was a 240-pound guy. I was all jacked up. And I could work with this kid.
Yeah.
And obviously nobody's going to believe, but in our confines, nobody's there. Who cares? And let him feel what it's like to get in there with a general. And I was a general at the time. And so, we're selling, and I just said, powerbomb me. Really?
Yeah, right now.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I got up for the kid.
Yeah.
And he powerbombed.
This is during the show. This isn't training.
This is training.
Okay, cool.
I would not do that at the show. I think all the bullshit with people wrestling, no. I think this stuff
I'd love to hear it. What do you think?
Well, a load of horse shit.
Yeah?
I mean, I guess you could say, well, it doesn't matter. It's a work. I think it's best when it's a more believable. That's just my opinion.
And that falls back on business.
Yeah, but it ain't the end of the world either. You can still do the believable stuff at the same time.
Yeah.
There's different types of music.
It's a variety, right?
And
I tell people all the time, there's 31 flavors, there's 50 flavors, whatever you want to call it.
It's still any of the other styles. They can be done poorly or they can be done well. And I've seen both, and when you see it done well, but it's still. Yeah. I just still think in the final, for the longevity of this game, believable, done well, will always be able, in the long run, draw money and not kill it. Whereas this other stuff can be flavor of the moment and it'll burn out and it'll just be a novelty. Not necessarily. I could be proven wrong, but
in the mind of old school Oliver John, yes, sir, that's the way it is.
Yes.
Brother, thank you.
Yes,
it really
thanks,
it means the world to me that you took the time out. And I don't know if I don't know if social media, if that's something you'd want to plug. Are you still looking for likes?
I like it. I used to. My Oliver John Facebook. I just liked everybody. I didn't screen any of it. And all of a sudden I see on my news feed, there's like two 56-year-old dudes wrestling naked on a bed. And then my number one fan was Otto from Germany. And he's like, I'm your number one fan from Germany. And these are pictures of me. And it's Otto eating breakfast. And it's a picture of Otto's eating breakfast. Otto at his desk at work. Otto in pool. Now it's getting weird. Otto in pool. And then it's just a chest. It was this hairy, gross, Germanic chest. And I kind of threw up in my mouth and I finally had to, I've got to kind of screen these a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, man. NorCal Tonight, guys. Yeah. Oliver John, buy a house.
Buy a house. Otto, don't send me any more of those pictures.
If you see Oliver John doing a seminar anywhere in the state, take the time, get out there and see what the old school's all about, man.
Yes.
Once again, brother, thank you so much.
Appreciate
Good stuff. You guys have a beautiful evening, and thanks for watching.